Oh yeah. So this is what happened. 2020, December 25th. I graduated from criminal justice, a class you can learn at a college or university, the curriculum. I was reporting a racketeer influence corp organized crime act to the John Edgar Hoover FBI building main headquarters in Washington D.C. I graduated with a night fright performance of song, dance, and theater. We had really great choreography. We had a pictorial display, and we had the first ever Centerfold magazine articles with live motion. We ended up going from the J. Edgar Hoover FBI building to the U.S. Supreme Court to the Georgetown University campus and performing our song after performing 30 to 40 separate locations in New York, Manhattan, Times Square. A lot of our friends watched us pack up our things in Washington District in Columbia from 2011 to 2020 to head towards Las Vegas, Nevada to establish a casino. We're getting ready to also establish the church and to live our life as the actual high priest in our job placement. We arrived in Las Vegas, Nevada around or about April. We go to the extra space storage on Las Vegas Boulevard and East Charleston Avenue in Las Vegas, Nevada, and get our storage the next day. The prices bumped up 2 times. People came to the storage in preparation of robbing us. We ended up going to the FedEx not too far from where we were staying on E. Lewis, on 2nd and Lewis, 200 Lewis Avenue. We ended up getting our hammer meal paper so that we can go to heaven, get in heaven, and have treasures in heaven. We got many paper binds of paper, like 500 paper in one bind. We got around to about 15 in our account. We got an opportunity to go to the Dollar Tree. We got over 15 separate sets of color pencils. We got ink pens. We bought clothes. We bought multiple fragrances, both cologne and perfume. We're able to continue to eat every single day. And we also did some performances at the Fremont experience where we danced a lot of the dances from our hospital and we did modeling from our catalog, our portfolio. And we had an opportunity to work on the actual way to heaven, the actual way in heaven, and treasures in heaven. We figured that um, God created everything in 6 days and rested on the seventh day of rest. But why did God create man? And so the reason why God created man, the purpose of man, is a part of the way to heaven. We also established that you have to serve the curse of sin because sin was entered into the world of disobedience of eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Then we were cursed to procreate, to go through birth pains, to keep our heel to the head of the serpent, and until the land all the days of our life. You have to serve that curse of sin. That's the way to heaven. We are also able to determine that you have to establish your everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh. And once you have all food eaten, once you have two of every sort of living creatures, of cattle, of beasts of the field, of creeping things, um, uh, 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 18 fowls of the air, 7 clean male. I didn't mean to say cattle, 7 clean female. two unclean male, two unclean female, fowls of the air of every sort, both male and female. And all thy house with the house of Noah, Noah's wife, Noah's three sons, and Noah's three sons' wives, then you establish your everlasting covenant, but you got to be there for a certain amount of days, and you got to eat fruits and vegetables and herb yielding seeds, and feed that um, to of every sort in the 18 fowls of the air. We determined that you gotta um, um, take the steps towards the kingdom of God, take the steps towards the kingdom of God to get a judgment with God, to take the steps towards the kingdom of heaven, and to get your name in the book of life. We determined that you gotta, each one of those steps are important, and where you're stepping towards is you're stepping towards the straightest the gate. This is considered to be the gate of heaven. So this is the way to heaven. These are the steps you have to take in order to go to heaven. This is the way to heaven. So we established the straight, narrow path, the straightest the gate. We also established the book of life, the only way into heaven. Your name has to be found on every page. The first page your name is not found on, that's when you have to go into a lake of fire. Or that's when it's time to be judged by God. But if you just go to heaven on your own, if you go to the straightest the gate, which is the gate of heaven on your own, you can you can be amongst the scattered them. Your life can be amongst the scattered them, and you can have all of these confound languages, all of the languages. You just went all around the world doing what God said, taking all the steps to heaven, and now all of a sudden you at the gate of heaven. But God doesn't have to let you in. There's only one way in. All right, and that's through the fulfilling of the law. Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life. So you gotta have a book of life. So we got the book of life, all of the pages for you to get into heaven, and then we had the treasures in heaven. You can get treasures. You can go into heaven and have treasures. All right. So this is April 18th, 2021 to October 5th, 2021. We pack up everything in our storage. We determined that after that, we had to get into electronics. We had to get into a lot of different things. We also determined that we had to establish our hospital. We had over 2,000 separate dances that can heal people with mental um, injuries, uh, such as demon possessions, terminal injuries such as leprosy, and physical injuries um, such as um, blood or blood circulation or limbs, that sort of stuff. So we ended up going to New York. Now we were getting robbed the whole entire time we was in Las Vegas. People were stealing our items. People had guns. They were shooting at us. People had guns and they was trying to shoot us, but they couldn't shoot us. Um, and then Criminal Minds, the Criminal Minds Behavior Analysis Unit came out, and they were trying to kidnap and kill us. And it was a crazy experience. But we did not know that our parents had been killed for our house while we were reporting this to the FBI building, and while we were at the courts with John G. Roberts Jr. So what happened was we ended up going to New York. They kept on spinning this thing like maybe we should continue to um, stay on the side of the FBI Academy that has the Marine base instead of the FBI Academy that has the FBI base. And so they were maintaining these thoughts about us being able to go to an international area that's more safer while they work on our case of slavery. And then, and so that was it. With that came a certain group of thoughts, but it was no words of verbalized or anything like that. And then, and so we stayed to ourselves in New York from October 5th to October 29th. And so what happened on October 29th, Joe Biden and Kamala D. Harris came and decided that they were going to kill us with the hitman contractor Mike Livingston and the hitman contractor DB Jennifer. And they were going to act like 2021 was 2008. and so they sent the 19th precinct police department, and a boy, I mean a woman and a man came. The woman came, grabbed my bag, wearing a ski mask, pulling the bag. The man came with a knife, and then he got a military style wooden pole, and then he whacked me a couple of times with it. I'm on the ground rolling, and then the 19th precinct police pulled up, and then they took us to the police station. There, I have $4 billion in art, $1 billion in $1 billion in Israeli new shekels, $1 billion in Japanese yen, $1 billion in renminbi Chinese money, and $1 billion in Turkish liras. Right? We're getting ready to move from the United States of America to Tokyo, Japan, and start the 7 churches of Asia out there, and do a deal with the Japanese for Sony, the #1 music distributor on earth, and a leader in global trade. So he he takes us to the police station. Um, he demands the ransom that Mike Livingston established. The cameras in the eye ransom, the robot ransom, the being in the collective body of your entire family ransom, the territorial jurisdiction of where a crime happens ransom. And he says, "My name is Joe Biden. Sue me in court. I'm taking this $4 billion from you. Go to the U.S. Supreme Court if you want your life back. I'm going to say that you raped BB Jennifer and kill you. I'm gonna also charge you with armed robbery. So I have enough time to establish the straight narrow path. So I have enough time to establish the book of life. I have enough time to establish the treasures in heaven, and I have enough time to own your tabernacle. Once I have enough time to own your tabernacle, and I have you as my slave, I might think about letting you go. Or you can go to John G. Roberts at the U.S. Supreme Court and tell him my name is Joe Biden and sue me." He says that he's going to kill us if we don't sue him. He tells us we have to use the same ransom that Kamala D. Harris's accomplice established in San Francisco, the cyberspace ransom, the cybernetic controller cop operative ransom, the cyber robot ransom, and the crime happens in cyberspace on the territorial jurisdiction of Robot Planet. Now, that has turned over to Joe Biden's taking the tabernacle that's built in Tokyo, Japan. And so we have to go to the court and sue Joe Biden in Tokyo, Japan for the tabernacle. Kamala D. Harris and Joe Biden then kills all of the plaintiffs on the plaintiff list. They killed Shantel Stokes, Ashley Lonnie, Crystal Lonnie, Ladarius Lonnie, Quincy Lonnie, Darren Striplin, um, um, at 1324 Mariposa Street, Rodeo, California 94572, and 148 Dempsey Way, Rodeo, California 94572. Actual Joe Biden and actual Kamala D. Harris. Now, this is the reason why they killed him, because Barack Obama and Malia Obama, Donald Trump, um, killed Ellen Grace Striplin for her house. Um, she just had to pay yearly taxes on, located at 9510 Arrowhead Falls Court, Las Vegas, Nevada 89148. And Joe Biden was killing the rest of her generation so that they can all timeshare the house. Now Joe Biden goes to Tokyo, Japan, and kills the Prime Minister of Tokyo, Japan, Shinzo Abe, so he can't have the Tabernacle of God. And also, Aaren Striplin can't call him as a witness to him killing Helen Grace Striplin, to Biden killing Helen Grace Striplin. So now Biden has this slave case on Aaren. And then he goes to San Diego and tries to kill Aaren with the San Diego Police Department and the San Diego Sheriff Department. And then they go to Malia Obama's house to try to steal the hospital. And then they go all the way to Microsoft to change the dates back from 2021 to 2008, saying that BB Gates is BB Jennifer. And then they go from and saying that Jennifer Gates is BB Jennifer. and saying that Mike Livingston is the CCC sheriff who has a warrant out for Aaren raping BB Jennifer, even though they had already let him go and found out that Mike Livingston and BB Jennifer was the hitman, by saying that Aaren Striplin gave BB Jennifer AIDS. And in order to do that, Barack Obama and Malia Obama had to kill Aaren Striplin in the Obamacare at the White House um, um, in 2013 using the Social Security Administration money. They lured Aaren Striplin to the Jackson Memorial Hospital, stabbed him with ice picks, and beat him up, and took him and gave him a blood transfusion, killing him and waiting from 2013 all the way to 2021 and 2022 to kill him in this scam. So now um, the FBI tells Aaren to go back to FBI main headquarters in Washington, D.C. and file charges on Malia Obama, Barack Obama, Donald John Trump, and Microsoft, and Joe Biden and Kamala D. Harris. So Aaren Striplin comes all the way back up here to file charges on them. And now it's 2022, December, turning 2023. Aaren files charges on him as the ransom. Now, what they did was Joe Biden never responded. Instead, he hired Criminal Minds, the Behavior Analysis Unit, Criminal Minds Suspect Behavior Analysis. They established the Blair House Shelter. He hired rapper LL Cool J. And then they decide, and the rappers, the diplomats, who they fenced the $2 billion in stolen art through at Christie's.com. All right, so anyways, they ended up hiring them to kill Aaren. They're demanding that Aaren says that he's gonna order all of these fucking nuclear weapons, ordering war from North Korea to bomb the United States of America, and all of this shit um, from 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 Vietnam to bomb the United States of America, or they're gonna kill Aaren Striplin. The only thing that he has as hope is that the courts is going to bring Joe Biden there, and then Joe Biden will be abolishing slavery. Joe Biden never came to the courts. Kamala D. Harris never came to the courts. Paula Bate never came to the courts. Uh, Robert John Jr., the owner of the courts, never came to the courts. Robert Contee never came to the courts. Eric Holder never came to the courts. Barack Obama never came to the courts. Malia Obama never came to the courts. Christopher Wray never came to the courts. David Johnson never came to the courts. George Pyro never came to the courts. Robert Mueller never came to the courts. They didn't come to the courts. Instead, they came to the library to kidnap Aaren and kill him. They came to the subway to kidnap Aaren and kill him. They tried to say that they were Carlos Slim from Mexico and have Mexicans hired in the dumping site locations to kill Aaren Striplin, so that Malia Obama can have his slave. Malia Obama, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala D. Harris hired Dina Cooper and Aaliyah Cooper to kill Aaren Striplin and change the dates back to make it seem like Aaren Striplin and I give BB Jennifer their hitman aides so that there be no witnesses and they can kill Aaren with the same hitman. All right, so they try to kill Aaren Striplin several times, like 6 different times, with knives, with guns, with uniforms, with military. None of that happened because of the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh. They refused to go to the lower courts. They just denied the right to file courts at the U.S. district courts. After the D.C. courts, they never came to the D.C. courts. So now Aaren Striplin goes to the United States Federal Claims Court and files charges on the impeachment committee, the United States Senate, Washington, D.C. 20510. The impeachment committee has to impeach Joe Biden because he's doing actual slavery murder. Now, every single day, he has a 24-hour army, and all they do is talk about You are nothing. Give all of your games to Microsoft. Let be a slave to Joe Biden. Be Trump's slave. Give your bank to Barron. Give your antiquity to Mary. Give your trust to Ivanka. Give your be Malia's slave. You know what I'm saying? That's what their armies say every single day. Or give us the ransom, or we can't let you live. So that's what's going on every single day. So now we're at the impeachment committee. The impeachment committee has to investigate, and we're hoping that Joe Biden and Kamala D. Harris goes to jail because these people are actually missing. I mean, actually dead. Now get this. Oh, and I forgot to say Armani Jones was actually buried alive, asking to be let out of the coffin. Right now, as the days go by, Joe Biden and Kamala D. Harris is leaving them there, and they're asking every day for property. So Joe Biden and Kamala D. Harris wants us to let them know how Bam Baker's ran at the Tabernacle. All they did was steal the Tabernacle. They stole the Tabernacle of God, the 7 churches in Asia, and they stole heaven from us. Killed their mom for her house at 9510 Arrowhead Falls Court, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89148. Sent John and Striplin to Mexico. Had Mexico kidnap her, demanding property for how the tabernacle was ran and set up, and then hired armies to stalk us every day. Every time we do something for the tabernacle, their armies come and record it. Now, for them to get away with slavery, they're saying that we don't have a right to our eye cameras and our voice recorders, our mobility device. That's illegal. Yet Donald Trump is a transient, an Anglo-Saxon paraplegic. Barack Obama is an African-American transient, African-American paraplegic. Malia Obama is an African-American transient, African-American paraplegic woman. Joe Biden's an Anglo-Saxon transient, Anglo-Saxon paraplegic. And even Kamala D. Harris, an African-American woman, paraplegic transient. They have access to their mobility device. Microsoft, their transients, they're stealing every one of our thoughts. They don't want us to go to court. They don't want us to say that we've seen Joe Biden, Kamala D. Harris, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Malia Obama stealing and killing our family for their house and use our eye cameras crime video. Yeah, they're stealing every one of our thoughts from our mobility device. They don't want us to get AT&T access. They don't want us to get a lock on our mobility device so they can steal our thoughts. So I'm saying these people have to go. They're targeting homeowners. They're actually killing the homeowner. They're killing the retarded children. And then trying to say that they're retarded so you can be lenient on them. This is the whole scam. Barack Obama went to the White House to kill Aaren Striplin with Malia Obama and the Obamacare. Donald Trump went to the White House to kill Helen Grace Striplin for the House, and Joe Biden and Kamala D. Harris went to the White House to kill the people in Japan and the whole entire family in the generation so that they can get the house. All 3 of them did a home invasion. Now this is how they was gonna get out. Barack Obama was gonna get up as a transient, a paraplegic, and try to say that he and get up in Hawaii. So he's gonna say that it's Hawaii against Japan. Microsoft, they're gonna try to say that they're the #1 company in America, and you gotta buy from Microsoft, or you can't live your life, so they can get away with the murder. They're gonna try to say that they're gonna go to Japan and establish Sony. And then they're going to try to establish some fake war between Microsoft and Sony so that they can try to, so that's how they can get out of it. And then Joe Biden is going to try to steal Aaron's identity. Aaren is an actual paraplegic retard. Joe Biden's going to try to say that he has a paraplegic retarded son so you can be lenient on him with muscle dystrophy that died. That's his whole scam. And then don't ruin his election. And then so he can get out of it. and then Kamala D. Harris is gonna try to say she the first black, so she can get out of it. And then Donald Trump, he's gonna try to say he's from Germany and it's Germany versus Jews, so he can get out of it. That's the whole scam of these people. That's why all of they got up. Now what happened was, this is what happened. They Helen Grace Striplin worked as a nurse. She bought her house. She married her husband Larry. Um, they had me and my family. All right, so Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Malia Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala D. Harris decided that they were going to rob Helen Grace Striplin for her house. Lawrence Striplin was in the United States military, like the Army. So what they were going to do was they're going to try to drive it, they're going to try to say that they're going to go all the way to Japan to kill a United States citizen who served the United States. So they go to Japan, um, and family members of Helen Grace Striplin Charles is living out there. So they put money into Charles so that Charles can have children, so that the children can be acquainted with Helen Grace Striplin in the United States, to try to say that Helen Grace Striplin is from Japan when nobody else is looking. All right, so what they did was they also went to Japan and built companies like Microsoft, and Sony. Just go to just go to Japan and get a business license, and now all of a sudden they're Sony. Now all of a sudden they're Toyota. This is what the real life president did. We went to Japan, established Toyota. He went to Japan, established Sony, and then he went to Japan and put money into Charles, so Charles can have a family, so that he can kill Helen. All right. So once he did all of that stuff, then he came back to the United States of America and established Microsoft. All right. So Microsoft is gonna have a problem with Sony, and this will allow him to get out. Then he went to Hawaii and came up as Barack Obama. Then he went to New York and came up as Donald Trump. And then he went to the Bay Area and came up as Kamala D. Harris. And then he went to North. Then he went to New Jersey and came up as Biden. All right.